Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Mandy with Homegrown and Handmade. Um, Thank you for watching this video. It's been a long-awaited return since my last video. I think it's been 2.5, 3 months. I was going to try to do a live just because I think that'll be easier for me because it just automatically uploads and there's no editing or anything like that. So that will probably happen next time because you have to activate your account to go live, and that takes 24 hours apparently. And this is the only free time I have to do this for quite a while. So this will be a typical recorded video. So life update, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I had a little boy a couple months ago. He is officially 4 months old almost. He's doing good. We had maternity leave was great. I am not made to be a stay-at-home mom, so kudos to all of you stay-at-home parents out there. It just kind of took every inch of patience I had, which is not a lot. If you ask my family, they will agree with that statement. So I just remember like when all my family left and it was just me and the kiddo all day, every day. I remember my husband coming home and me just like instantly handing him off, like not even saying hi to my husband, just passing off the baby and like getting a mental break. But he was a newborn and they're more difficult. He's much, much better now as far as not crying a lot and things like that. So that's great. We've been having some weight issues with him. So he was born small. He was born in the 5th percentile, and then he dropped down to the 3rd when he lost kind of that normal newborn weight, and we just haven't been able to get him back up. He did have a tongue tie that needed to be clipped, so that was probably affecting his nursing some. And then so we got that taken care of, and so he's still not kind of up to where the pediatrician wants him to be. So we're supplementing formula and doing bottles so he can take more in. So our 4-month appointment is Monday. So I am trying to, as my husband say, manage my expectations and not get my hopes up that he will be at our magic number, that we will not have to do blood work. If he's not up there yet, my pediatrician is going to do just some labs and stuff to make sure that everything's fine. Check for genetic things that they don't do at the newborn screen because they're less common and such. But he's acting normal. He's rolling over. He's laughing. He's so much fun. So I think everything's going to be fine. We're just trying to fatten him up. So then I went back to work and things were going pretty smooth. That transition was hard, just time management and all that fun stuff that you all know about if you have kids. And then we were finally getting in the groove of things and we got RSV. And that kind of blew us away. He's good now. He's better. And I'm in the medical field, and so I kind of knew what to expect. But it's just completely different from a mama perspective than a provider perspective. Let me just tell you, that was rough. That was rough. Just the staying up all night with him because he couldn't breathe laying down, and then we're not sleeping, and so I'm emotional, and then just kind of the heartbreak when your baby's sick and you can't do much about it, and then the worry, and it was just a hot mess. We're better now. He's better. Everything's good. So that was just kind of another bump in the road. And so now, he had that about maybe a month ago. So we're kind of back in the swing of things. Everything's cruising. I know he'll get sick again. It's just bound to happen, but I am thoroughly appreciating the healthy days without snotty noses and congestion and can't breathe. I did get an owlet sock. So I was never like really into the owlet socks. Again, I just didn't really see a need for it for me. I'm not usually that worried about things like that, but because RSV, they have trouble breathing and their oxygen drops low, and that's a big red flag that they might need to be admitted for just supportive care and observation and such. So I had my husband go to like 3 stores to buy this owlet sock, and we got it, and let me tell you, I have never slept better. At first, when we put it on him, because he still had RSV, I would check his oxygen levels. But now that like he's healthy and such, I don't even look at the numbers. I don't do anything. All I know is that if it alarms, I wake up. So I can sleep so peacefully now, just knowing that that's going to alarm me if something happens, if he stops breathing or what have you. And so I know some people love them, some people don't, because it increases their anxiety. I am pro owlet sock. It's wonderful for us. So that's kind of the baby update. Again, he's doing great. Husband's doing good. Job's doing good. Everything else is doing good. So I've been able to get some stitching in, which has been nice. So usually he's a great sleeper. I took the Taking Care of Babies class, if you have heard of her. Amazing. I think he just was a naturally good sleeper, and that just kind of helped. So he goes down to bed usually without any problems. He sleeps for the most part 11 to 12 hours at night. And so I get, if it's a good day, quite a bit of stitching time done after he goes down for the evening. And it's been several months, so I have a lot to show you guys today. So much so that I probably am going to forget several things, especially haul, because that's just kind of been collecting. The way that I deal with stress and anxiety these days is, of course, praying, but number 2, buying cross stitch. So RSV was worse for us for the pocketbook. Number 1, because of doctor's appointments and owlet socks and things like that. But number 2, I was dealing with my anxiety by spending money on cross stitch. So I will jump right in with, I guess I'll start with FFOs. I shockingly have one of those. Again, it's been many months, so some of these are going to be patriotic stuff. So I will go get my FFO. So this is my FFO. So this is the Hobby Lobby frame that Priscilla and Chelsea did, but the calendar crates for me are just big, and I'm not ever going to keep up with them. And so I did this cute little snapshot pattern. So this is snapshots by, I think it's Pine Mountain Design. And it was such a quick stitch. And I have a little star thing that I made that hangs on the bottom of this. And then just like everyone else, it just kind of magnets off. That is my beautiful backing and pops right back on. So that's that. Sorry, that was big. I don't like all of the snapshot patterns. So like September, for example, is back to school, I think, and I don't do back to school. August is like a beach thing. I don't really do beach cross stitch. So I'm just going to do different patterns for different seasons. I love the Halloween snapshot, so I probably need to start that soon. But I'll probably do a little fall pumpkin or something that I can put up kind of late August, early September. And it just hangs on my wall, so that's super, super easy. That is the only FFO that I have, but surprisingly, I do have several finishes, which I'm super excited about. So the first one I will grab, and I don't know if I showed you guys this last time, or y'all. My father, so I'm from Louisiana, the South. We say y'all. I have gotten, for some reason, in the habit of saying you guys, and I think it just secretly breaks. It doesn't secretly. He's very vocal about the fact that it breaks my father's heart whenever he hears me say you guys. So I am sorry, Dad, when you watch this, y'all. I don't know if I showed y'all this last time, but this is the 4th of July tiered tray by Madame Chantilly. And this is my finish. And if I showed it to you last time, I'm sorry, you just get to see the beautiness of this amazing, awesome pattern. I just love it. This is the first time that I stitched on linen. This is a much larger pattern than I realized. I got something to FFO it wasn't big enough. I have no idea what I'm going to do to FF it. But thankfully, because it is now August, I have almost an entire year before I have to worry about that. I love that pattern. I have all of them, except for the beachy, the summer one, because again, I don't do beach and it's beachy theme. But it's, I mean, huge. And so I think it'll be a minute before I do the next one. And it'll probably either be the Christmas one or the Halloween one. But that one was so much fun to stitch. Messed up a lot. It was very forgiving, thankfully. So that one was good. And then the next finish I have, so I've been trying to go through and work on my whips, the ones that I like enough to finish. I did kind of a purge before I had the baby, and I got rid of like early cross stitch when I first started. My tastes have changed, not surprisingly. And so I got rid of a lot of those whips. I stitched on Ada then, and I don't really like Ada for the most part now, minus a few things. But this is one that I had enough progress on it, and I want to hang it up in my sewing room somewhere, probably over there in that gray area. So I wanted to work on this. So this is the Quilter Cottage by Lori Holt. Let me put some paper behind it so you don't see that light. So this is stitched on, I think it's burlap Ada. A pretty quick stitch for the most part, considering how much solid there is. I did make several changes. So for the house, I think it called for brown. I did blue right there because the brown I'm not the biggest fan of, and I secretly would like a gray house. And then down, oops, let me flip it. Sorry. Down here, I changed the blocks. So this one was supposed to be there, and I switched the other block to match, but with just a different color scheme because I didn't like the other pattern or the color scheme that went with it. And then the last thing I kind of did, and I think I got this idea from someone, but when I was doing the alphabet, it's a little bit subtle, but I did the P in a different color because that is my last name. So this, I'm just going to do kind of your classic frame finish with, so I can hang it up on my wall. I have the frame and everything for it. I just haven't sat down and done it yet. So that is finish number 2. Finish number 3. So I did start a new project. I didn't really do cross stitch camp. For those of you, I think a lot of y'all are involved with that. Didn't do it June and July because the baby and just so much going on. But August was a new to you, I think, floss or new to you fabric. And so I just kind of had the hankering, so I started a new project. So what I worked on was the Prairie Schooler Santas. So if you saw a previous video, I talked about how for Prairie Schooler Santas, I am going to focus on doing them the years that matter to me, i.e., I'm going to do my birthday year, my husband's birthday year, the year we got married, the year we started dating and got engaged, and the year we had my son this year. And then I'm going to do like my niece and nephew are born on the same year, 2019, so I'm going to do that year as well. And so anyways, so long story short, I'm just doing those Prairie Schooler Santas that are of significance year-wise. And so I wanted to do the year that my husband and I got married for our first ornament. Hilariously enough, picked the wrong year, so didn't do that. So I did the 2016 Prairie Schooler Santa, which is the year we started dating and got engaged. But again, it's a deer. My husband loves deer. He hunts. And so it fits. I just did the wrong year, but that's okay. And this is my finish. So this was my first time stitching a Prairie Schooler Santa. And it went by so quickly. I think he looks great. There's a mistake. If you pause it, you can probably hunt it out. I'm not going to point it out because why would I do that? This was stitched on 32 count taupe Lugana. So this was a new to me fabric and a new to me pattern because I never have done a Prairie Schooler Santa before. And he came out so great. It was so quick. So I bought a bunch of this fabric from 123 Stitch. I bought a bunch of the fabric from 123 Stitch because I want to do all my Prairie Schoolers on the same fabric. And I'm using the called for colors minus, I think, one color. I think the deer, I don't know why. I got the wrong color and didn't realize it till I was done with him. He's staying that color. It's brown, deer, brown, doesn't matter. Anyways, so I got all the fabric or not all, but I got maybe a half yard of the fabric, but it's all in smaller pieces because it's still a decent sized piece, but I don't like stitching with a lot of fabric in hand. And so I'm excited about that. I spent some of my birthday money on that and some floss for some of the other Prairie Schooler charts. So that is my third finish. I know, I'm on a roll. You can secretly applaud me in your homes while you're watching this. I'm impressed for me though. Like, this is not bad for someone who has a newborn to take care of. And then my last finish, I had most of this done already, but again, I'm just kind of trying to work through my whips. So my last finish is the beautiful Let's Talk Autumn by Hands On Design. I love almost every pattern from her. So this is my beautiful finish. I love it. Many mistakes on this one as well. Many mistakes. But I'm so happy that this is done in time for fall. So I just have to finish it. My sister suggests that I just frame it and hang it up. I think most of her Let's Talk. I think she does a spring one. The winter one, I don't decorate for winter because Louisiana, we don't have really winter. We do, but we don't get snow, so I'm not going to stitch a snow scene. And so I don't really do that. She's got one of those. I don't think she has a Christmas one. Anyways, I'll quit jabbering, but I love that one. Was so fast to stitch. Many mistakes on my part, but thankfully for the most part that pattern is pretty forgiving as far as mistakes go. So those are all my finishes. Not too shabby in my opinion, not to toot my own horn or anything. And again, some of those were mostly done and I just had a couple colors left to fill in. So I'm not stitching up craziness. So those are my FFOs. I will go into haul first, I think, before I do whips. So haul wise, for my anniversary, which was in June, I told my husband that I just bought my present. So I signed myself up for the Floss Fix Club from Fat Quarter Shop. So I got some of those. And I'm back. Sorry for my loud chair. These are not all of them. I don't know what happened to the rest of them. I probably kitted them up. But July's were yellows. So these are some of the yellows. August, I think, has shipped. I was hoping to get some of those in today or last night before I did this, but that didn't happen, but that's okay. So I'm looking forward to that. I will probably do it for maybe 6 months, but I'm excited to just kind of build up my stash with colors that I wouldn't typically use, and that would make it easier for me to kind of branch out a little bit with changing colors and patterns and things like that, which I'm not very good at changing colors, as my sister can attest to. I also am on the wait list for the Color and Cotton Floss Club. I think it'd be fun to do that one as well. I've heard good things about it. I've never used that floss before, so that's I'm waiting for. So I probably won't do both. So once that comes available, hopefully it won't be in the next couple months, but then I'll probably cancel my floss Fix through Fat Quarter Shop, and then do the Color and Cotton Floss of the Month Club. So that is one of my haul. I also got the, sorry about the plastic, the Christmas alphabet for Prairie Schooler Santa. So I saw that Priscilla did this, I think a couple years ago, and I just thought it was the cutest thing. So I plan on doing Merry Christmas like it is at the bottom. I told my mom I bought this pattern, so my mom cross stitches as well. So I told her I bought the pattern, and she said that she is going to get the pattern as well. But what she wants to do with it is to make ornaments for her grandkids with their names, like James. And I just thought that was the cutest idea. So you have to do it, Tina, because I want my cute little James ornament. I think that's a precious idea. And another way to use that pattern is to just do a name ornament out of those little blocks. Something else that you can also do is, like, if you want to do Noel or something, you can put them on little wooden blocks. I have blocks somewhere. Who knows? I found them. I really wanted to look for these. So this is just like a wooden block. I think it's like a 2x4. 2x4. No, 4x4. I don't know. Anyways, my dad did these, and he just cut it and rounded the edges with a sander. And you can just paint these any color. And so I have these, and I'll show y'all maybe in another video. I did some felt work, and so I have some felt work. So I have fall, so it says like this has an F on it for fall or whatever. So that would be kind of cute if you did like Noel or peace or something. You can just display these, and I kind of just like stack them up on a shelf or a mantle, kind of like that, and it'll just say FALL. So I do want to do that. And I think that would be another really cute idea for this pattern. So that is my haul. And then the last haul, I went to get my sister-in-law some patterns from my local cross-stitch shop, and they didn't have them, so they're going to order them. Because, my sister-in-law, if you're watching this, Amy, she asked me to teach her how to cross-stitch. We did a punch needle class a while ago, last year, I guess. So she's punched needle some. So I'm going to go up and teach her how to cross stitch, hopefully. So I went there to get some supplies for that. They didn't have what I wanted. They're going to order it, but I still had to buy something for myself because why not? So I am, of course, going to hop on the I Belong to the Cross Stitch Nation. I've really gotten into wanting to decorate my sewing room with some cross stitch pieces, so I'm excited for this. And then I got this, I think this is Picture This Plus. Harbor Gray is the color, but this is a 32 count linen, which is what it called for. So I have that, and I have some floss picked out for it from my stash, different than the called for floss. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. Gonna try that one out. So that is all my haul. I have some stuff coming in next week, so that'll be my next video. And now whips. So the first one I'll show you is the one that I am most proud of. This is the one that I'm working on a lot because I want it done before Christmas. So if you follow me on Instagram or have seen my previous videos, I'm stitching a Christmas stocking for my son. I have one, my husband has one, and so I really, really want to get it done before his first Christmas this year. I am fairly confident I will be able to do that because this is my progress. Oh, he's so pretty. So I'm really bad at editing / it takes a lot of time, and I don't want to spend my time editing because I want to cross stitch instead. So in my previous videos, I included a where I was at before that will probably not be happening anymore. I'm sorry if that's a deal breaker for you. I'm really sorry, but too much time. Anyway, so I don't have a before picture, but I essentially, trying to use my nose to hold it up, have done a lot of, like, all of his face and then a lot of his hair and beard. So really what I have to do is finish filling in up here in some of the beard, do the top piece with his name, and then there are a few like colors here and there that I've got to fill in at the bottom. So he is close, and I am thrilled. Oh, he looks so good. I love it. I love it. So that is one of my whips. Another whip that I have, so me, my mom, and my sister are doing the Lizzie K Heart and Holly and Heart sampler. It was a mystery like years ago. It's not anymore, obviously. So this is where I am at with that. This is fun. This is linen as well. I forget what linen. But this is linen as well. So, I mean, it's coming along great. I love it. I'm going to make a few changes to the pattern just because, like, you can see it's got these little lines behind the, let me pull it up. So it's got those lines behind the stars and the hearts. That's not my favorite, so I think I'm just going to leave that out completely. And if I don't like it, I can just go back in and stitch it, so it's not a big deal. So I'm working on that, and that is super fun. So that's one of my whips. Another whip that I have is the 4th of July chalk full jar by Hands On Design again. Love her patterns. Also, I know if you watch this, you have probably seen her new pattern that's got like the Let's Talk, but it's like Let's Talk stitching. Holy cow, I cannot wait to get that and stitch it and put it in my beautiful sewing room. So here is an update on the Liberty jar. Not too much done. So I'm working on some of the green, and then I'll probably still work on this here and there because I do want it to be done for 4th of July next year, and I don't think I'll have a problem finishing that. And then another whip that I have is the Flea Market flower. I'm not going to show you the pattern because you all know what it looks like probably. So not too much done, but getting there. This is big. I really do like stitching it though. I love the fabric that I picked with the kind of modeling. I know it's hard with my light behind me. And I just love the colors. I think this is just a really fun stitch. And then I have 2 more whips for y'all. One was gifted to me by a lovely, wonderful viewer. And this was my postpartum stitch because it was just filling. And then I realized that I could do something a little bit more complicated than just filling postpartum. So I did. So this is now officially what I stitch when I'm riding in the car with my husband. When my baby is asleep in the back seat and when I'm not asleep in the back seat, i.e. I don't get a lot of stitch time on this because if the baby's asleep in the car, there's a high probability that I am sleeping as well. So this is my Santa. So I'm working on filling in the white down in here, and then I've got to fill in the red, and then he's done. So I think I'll be able to finish him for Christmas this year. It goes by fast-ish. I mean, it's just straight fill in. So it's fast, but then it's just a lot, so it's slow. That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. The baby has sucked all of my smart cells out of my brain, which is fine. He can have them. In general, I don't need them anymore, but I would like to keep some of my common sense. And then the last one that is a whip, I did the Stitch Along, the Stitching Book Club. It started in June. Sorry, the J's confused me. It started in June, so I was able to do a little bit. Was I able to keep up? Heck no. I've never read Little Women, so I started reading it. Have I finished it? No, but it's pretty good. I will continue to read it while I stitch it. And by read, I mean listening to the audiobook because that works really well for me. I can just listen to the audiobook and stitch at the same time. And so it's like a 2-for-1. And when you have a baby and not that much time, you need things that are 2-for-1. So this is where I'm at with Little Women. And I signed up for the, not just the pattern club, but the fabric and the thread. And so this is all kind of the called for fabric and thread. So it's looking pretty good. There's 4 parts. This is part 1. I have a lot, not too much more to do for part 1, but then a lot more to do for parts 2 through 4. So that is my last WIP. And I think that's all, you guys. Y'all, sorry, Dad. Sorry. Like I said, I'll have some more haul next week, which I'm excited about. I'm going to go down to visit my family in New Orleans for the first time with the kiddo Labor Day weekend. So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you for watching. I think I said this in the beginning. That's 30 minutes ago, so I've forgotten. I'm going to try to do the next one live. I am contemplating just going live maybe once a week, or that's a lot. I don't know if I have that much content, so it might just be me rambling. So if that's your thing, by all means. But I might do it live just because I think it just automatically uploads after you're done doing it live, and it just seems a lot more time convenient for me. I like consistency. In the Flosstubers that I watch, like everyone's got lives. Like I don't expect consistency by any means, but like I know Thursdays Steel City Stitchers comes out with a new video, and then I know Wednesdays Fat Quarter Shop does their live, and so I like consistency for me personally, and so I might try to be consistent with the lives. I'm not going to announce it or anything at first because it's probably going to be a hot mess the first several times I do it. But I might try to aim for Friday mornings before I leave for work and after the kid leaves, i.e. 7:15 in the morning. So if you're an early bird, I'd love for you to join me. I'm very awkward in real life. I don't know how to do social media and comment and things like that. So I'm bad about that, and that might come off as hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't come off as snooty or anything. I'm just super awkward with comments. This is my cat. His name is Rex. He's precious. He does not like the baby. I have no idea where I was at. Anyways, so if you want to join me for the live, you're by all means welcome to. I apologize in advance for how awkward it might be. If you want to comment while I do it, I think that would be kind of fun to just read those comments. Since I'm terrible at responding to comments on YouTube and stuff, it might be easier to respond to them live and in person. Many of you have jobs, and so I know that 7:15 on a Friday morning is probably not ideal for a lot of you, and that's okay. You can just watch it later if you want to watch me at all. If not, I completely understand because time is precious and use yours wisely. So that is my plan. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we might try it next Friday morning and see what happens. So that's all. Sorry I said so much. Thank you guys for watching. Happy stitching, and I will hopefully see you guys next week.